What's up, guys? It's Sergeant M checking in, giving a plug for my buddy Rick Primo from Primo Customs. Some of you actually already may know Rick. He's been featured on numerous TV shows, Overhauling, Rides, Titus, and you can see this is the 1970 Monte Carlo that he did on Overhauling. It's nicknamed the Monte Fuego. So if you actually put that into Google, if you do a Google search for that, the first result is this streetfire.net, and you can actually watch the whole episode of Overhauling where that Monte Carlo was done. Very cool episode. I recommend you check it out. Another thing that Rick does, aside from being featured on TV shows and just being a killer artist all around, is Rick is an airbrush teacher. Rick's taught me loads. I mean, probably everything that I know, and some stuff that I forgot about custom painting and airbrushing. And this is why I kind of want to give a little plug for him. You know, I get compliments on my work, and I don't feel it's all that incredible. But you know, again, we are our own worst critics. But I really owe everything that I know to Rick. He's been an awesome mentor and great friend, and I greatly appreciate it. But another thing that Rick's got going on is every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time, Rick hosts a live airbrush atmosphere radio show along with his co-host Rachel Blackstock, another great airbrush artist. Rachel's from the UK. So that goes on every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific. And what they do is they just go through and they do interviews with other artists. They'll kind of chit-chat, and they'll talk about what happened during the week, stuff that they worked on during the week, and you know, what's new, what's hot, who has great deals out there. But if you want to listen to the archived interviews, they're all on his site at primocustoms.com. I had the honor of being the first interviewee for the Airbrush Atmosphere radio show. Following me was a fellow named Jeff from Down Under in Australia. Jeff is Wiggle, better known as Wiggle. Another very cool airbrush artist and just all-around cool guy. And last week they had an interview with Tom Pruitt from Department of Customs. And tonight will be Svi Wheeler, another killer airbrushed artist out of the UK. So don't miss that. Again, that's Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific. So if you're in a different time zone, if you're not in Pacific time zone, make sure you check Google for a time zone converter if you're not already familiar with the differences. That radio show is held on Blog TV, and all of these links will be in the description of the video, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember them. Rick also has another channel on Blog TV where, you know, during the week he'll fire up the camera and just broadcast whatever he's working on at that time, so you can watch him work, and you can get you know, ask him questions, get feedback, and you know, kind of one-on-one. And lastly, on Saturday afternoons at 2 p.m. Pacific, over here on the Airbrush Forum Class Blog TV channel, Rick hosts a class every Saturday. Obviously, he's not live right now, so there's nothing to look at, but there are recorded videos on here, and you can go back through and watch all of those. This is the flag class. I think there's actually 6 or 7 parts to that. This one here is from last week's. He kind of went back to basics. Was just airbrushing on a paper towel with some black paint. Kind of keep teaching some trigger control, dots, daggers, lines, all that sort of thing. And that's every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And it's well worth it. It's a free class. It doesn't cost you a dime to join in. And that's what's so great about it is, you know, Rick has almost 30 years of experience with custom painting and airbrushing, and he's out there teaching what he knows to the rest of us, which is invaluable. If you learn this flag, you know, that's easily on a tailgate of a pickup truck. That's an easy $1,500 job, and you know, maybe $100 worth of materials. So yeah, it's invaluable. I highly, highly, highly recommend making some time and watching that on Saturdays. So again, check him out, everybody. It's primocustoms.com. Rick Primo, killer airbrush artist, all around cool guy, airbrush teacher. I'll show you a couple of things here in his gallery real quick. I believe this was on a, well, I guess this was on a Charger. But in his gallery, if you look through it, it is flash enabled, so it will just kind of cycle through. There's some of his realistic fire. This is the Rust Bucket GMC that you can actually see up in the top here in the header. This is all paint, guys. This is not a rusted up truck. It's all paint. And a funny story about this truck, it actually got somebody backed into it, so Rick actually had to go and redo this truck, I think a couple times now, 2 or 3 times at least. And these are all older, so you know, you see this, look at that, this is actually a flag mural on a truck. Look at the stitching in that star. Here on this TUABF class channel, Rick teaches you how he did that stitching. And if we go some more, there's actually a picture in here somewhere of that whole truck. This is on his brother Tommy's truck. You guys might actually know Tommy as well. Tommy's actually a stunt guy in Hollywood. Been on some TV shows. Does some live fire burns. Look at that killer skull. Confederate flag on the roof of somebody's car. I mean, you know, anytime I need any sort of a reference picture, Primo's site is usually where I start. So I won't drag this out any longer, but definitely check all this stuff out, guys. Again, I'm Sergeant M. This is my buddy Rick Primo, primocustoms.com. Go check him out. Have a good night.